Yo, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. Yo, these NFL streets is hot right now. It's literally pregame morning shows running, and Antonio Brown, who has become the three-ring circus of all sports entertainment. This guy is must-see television. This guy probably is going to become a reality star because apparently he just announced that he's done with the NFL and he's going to retire. I'm not surprised because if you look at his actions over the last 8 months, he has the actions of a guy who it's like when you're just overworking a certain job and you just don't give a fuck anymore and you're set, you got your money, you start coming in late, stop calling out, you just don't give a fuck. He's shown the actions of someone who doesn't give a fuck about his profession anymore. And I was rooting for him because he's been my favorite player to watch on receiver wise for the last 10 years. And I love good redemption stories, but I can't root for you when you keep putting your foot in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? And he had a great chance, similar to Randy Moss, to rejuvenate himself and submit his Hall of Fame legacy when he went to New England, but he just couldn't keep his mouth shut. And I didn't do the video when he got released Friday because I was out and about. But damn, the fact that he blew the money is one thing. It's the fact that you had a chance to win a championship. No one was gonna beat that team if he's played all year long and was healthy. That was steroid shit, and he blew it because he just had to defend himself. Now I believe the night that he got released from Nike, right the day before, literally the night before he was released, Nike dropped him. He starts panicking and still's like he has to defend himself because everyone's calling him a nut. He's a racist. I mean, a rapist. He's this. He's that. He went in self-defense mode and felt like he had to defend himself instead of letting the attorneys that he's paying get really good money to do their job. Like any logical person, he felt like he had to defend himself. So he goes on. He starts texting and interrogating the witness and just wilding. And Belichick is like, yo, why does this kid keep talking? Every time Bill does a press conference, it was all about Antonio Brown. And, Bill Belichick is a very team oriented guy. So it was bothering him. And AB just, he couldn't help himself. Now, they released him Friday afternoon. It looked like they were, on good terms because he shouted out Belichick, said he appreciated it. He told Tom, yo, go out there and win it all, champ, do it for me. Felt like he was in a good space and he just was accepting his fate. I don't know what happened in the last 48 hours because this morning he went the fuck off on Twitter. And he actually had some good points. Now, he calls out hypocrisy left and right. He says, yo, Big Ben got 4 games for 2 rape assault charges back in 2010. Now, Antonio was on that Steeler team in 2010. He was a rookie. I remember that year. Ben had missed the first 4 games. They went 3-1. They went to the Super Bowl and lost. But Ben only served 4 games. And he had 2, rape assault charges. Wasn't the same kind of backlash, but, Antonio's got a point. Then he says Shannon Sharp, the funny guy on TV. Shannon Sharp had a couple of rape allegation assaults on him, too. And at one point, he had stepped aside from CBS for a while. This is also true. This is all stuff that you could Google and whatever. And the dagger is when he says Robert Kraft got caught in a parlor. AB speculation is fired. Different strokes, different folks, clearly. Now he's got a fucking point. And it's been the elephant in the room all off season. Robert Kraft was caught in a X-rated massage parlor back in February. And it hasn't been any punishment, any suspension. It really got swept under the rug. And I knew it was because he's a billionaire and most likely he's white. And those kind of people can get away with shit. So Antonio's, is definitely spot on. Just in case, just when you start to think this dude has lost his mind, he says something that actually is real. Then he follows up and says he will not be playing in the NFL anymore. These owners can cancel deals, do whatever they want at any time. We will see if the NFLPA holds them accountable. Sad, they could just void guarantees anytime. The NFL is a fucked up business. It's a slave system, and dude basically said he's done with football. I believe it. It's sad because he was in his prime. 31 years old. You seen him last week against the Dolphins. Yeah, I know they're the worst team in football, but AB is still ridiculous. And it's sad if that was the last performance we'll see from this guy. But back to the hypocrisy with those other guys, Ben, Shannon Sharp, Robert Kraft. The difference between those guys and him, when they had similar accusations, they kept their fucking mouth shut like you're supposed to. AB had to go in self-defense mode and tweet and Instagram. You don't have to do all of that, cuz. And that's where he fucked up. I think if he would have kept his mouth shut and just let the lawyers do the talking, he would have been fine because the Patriots were being patient with him. He practiced Friday morning, the day he got released. They just couldn't take it anymore. When they found out he was interrogating those witnesses via text messages, it was like, okay, dude, you just doing too much now. You doing too much. And they had to bring down that gavel on him, B. So that's the only difference. But he's definitely got a point as far as where's Robert Kraft's punishment. Shannon Sharp was out of football by the time his situation happened. And we all know Big Ben shit was swept under the rug outside of those 4 games. It's not something people bring up in the media. It's not something that's going to stop him from being a first ballot Hall of Famer. But like it goes back to that video I did with Ryan Clark and the whole thing with Cam Newton. It just seems like black coaches, black players, black people in general are held to a higher standard, and the scrutiny is at an all-time higher level in the NFL compared to white guys, and coaches and whatever you want to call it, quarterbacks. So let me know what y'all think, man. Antonio Brown says he's done with football, and he aired everybody out on Twitter this morning. He might still be going in, man. He might have to check that boy out, AB on Twitter. I'm out.